strings, they just have a different sound, and a lot of really good, you know, R&B and funk type stuff really come out of these strings. You know what I mean? So we're going to try to approach that a little bit different today. And maybe you could blend the two together. We'll see, right? All right, so the first one we're going to do is obviously this one. Right? Okay, so where's my 5 chord?
5 chord on this one?
Yeah.
I guess it could be.
That was hard. All right. And the 4? No, you got 3, 2, 1. There you go. Right. And then back to 4. And then back to 1. Right. Okay, so inside this guy, you've got what are these guys? This is a 3-5-1, right? Okay, so that immediately takes it into the sus realm again, right? Okay. Then you've got the G 5 going to 6. Right? You know, so that starts getting gospel sounding immediately. And then you have the 1 on top, it turns into the 9. Right? Again, the pinky's doing a lot of work. Right? We'll get into that later. But it's really kind of what it is. You see those extensions kind of turned it into, in the key of G, turned into the next chord, didn't it? Right. Extensions will follow diatonically, right? Right. We'll save that for the jazz part of this lesson. That's pretty cool, right? So you can basically like. That's a lot funky, right? And that just comes from the scrabbling. And 2 and 3 and 4 and right? Yeah, that kind of thing, right? So you're gonna have to work on that. Right? You let's see, so like coming out of and then you get the little slides. You see what I mean? And it's just, yeah, it's always just going to be the little half-step slide. You know, this kind of, right? A little flat 7 in there is cool every once in a while. And it's just knowing where you are, you know what I mean? Knowing your intervals, knowing, you know, where stuff sits. It makes you comfortable. You know what I mean? And when you know where the note's going to be before you hit it, that's kind of where you want to be, right? 9 times out of 10 that works. The other time it doesn't, I call it fusion. All right. So let's move on. Let's take. Let's go up to this G, which is just, for the record, a D moved up. Right? Alright, so let's look at those extensions for a second. Where are we at as far as triad? This is a what? 3-5-1, right? Second inversion. 5-1-3. Yeah, 5-1-3. There you go. See what I mean? That was fusion, by the way. Right? So that comes out of that, basically. Right? Okay. And into the G. I don't know. And the higher you go up on the neck of the guitar, it sounds just a little more funky when you take the 5 to the 6. Right? Yeah. Okay, so 5 to 6. Right? Right? So we got 3 to 4 there. Right? How about this guy? Not a lot of mileage in that. Unless you wanted to play a single line out of it. Just because it takes you so far out of that position, you see? You could do it like this if you wanted to. Just change your pattern. And then you get some good mileage out of it. It's always better to bar that. You can see that, right? When you're playing, if you're playing a chord like, that kind of thing, you're going to have, where you're going to use the chord. But when you're playing a line that's going to create okay, so where is the 5 chord from there? Hard, right? Okay, so again, you have the chord doing this really cool thing. You got the which is basically the same thing we did on the C when the C was the 4 chord, right? 4. I mean, yeah, you could. Why not? It defeats the purpose of going backwards, but you can get away with it, right?